lovely, beautiful, intelligent people. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for supporting me, and to my new viewers, thank you for engaging. Right here, we do so many things. We do lifestyle, we do vlogs, we do talk shows, we do plenty of things here. So thank you for watching. Let's get right into the video. Okay, these are my favorite study tips as a Medlab student in my final year. First of all, the challenges of being a medical laboratory student are like large, like this. But it's something that we can manage, something that we can, try to comprehend, something that we can try to manage. Understand? But as a medical laboratory student, it's your number one job to take care of patient samples, diagnosis, not treatments basically, but the diagnosis and giving out results early, efficiently, effectively. So these are like the roles of medical laboratory students. You have to know these things even before you attempt at anything in the lab. In the health sector, people compare medical laboratory students or medical laboratory scientists to doctors. You understand? I don't know, they always have this beef. Between medical laboratory scientists and medical doctors. I don't know, but they feel like they need to hold the hospital, the doctors, feel like they need to be in charge and all of that. And even when you be like, okay, that's yours, not taking it from you, they still want to come into our own side of the hospital and always keep us at the back. You guys, they always keep us at the back, and still you want to find a way to always overthrow us at anything. Sometimes we go to the labs and all of that stuff, and they'll be completely brutal because they want to be. I remember when I was in the lab at some point, I think histopathology lab, and then there was a doctor that came in and was like, the test results we gave to him was not correct. I want to see us do it again. I'm like, we've done this thing before, we've done it like 2 extra times, and this is still the same result. He said we should do it again, that he's not sure what he saw is not the same thing. I'm like, then it should be the sample collection and stuff. Instead, he can take a new sample and we should test it again. And then right there in his presence, we did it. It was like a tissue processing shift. So we did it, he came back the next day and we gave him the results, did everything like that, and gave him the results, and it was still the same thing. I don't know how they think, but it's challenges we face at medical laboratory. We have to even stand up for ourselves. If not, these people will overthrow us in our laboratories. Look how my effective study tips, right? As a final year student, I've learned so many things about reading and stuff like that. First of all, when I even entered my year 1, I brought down my cramming thing. I started with my secondary school. So most of the time during my exam period, I just cram. When I get to exam hall, I pour it. Though most of the things they taught us in year 1 was mostly things we already know, like from our secondary school, like biology, chemistry, physics, maths. It was irrelevant, but we had to know ground knowledge and all. Those were the things that we really learned during our year 1, and so I knew small. The ones I didn't know, I crammed and I poured it. My results were good, yeah, but it was not sticking. You get? It was not sticking, and so I needed another way to study other than cramming. Most Nigerian students do that, but it's not the best way. It will leave you. And as a laboratory student, you need all the knowledge you can get, because the way the doctors are trained, it's a no good area. I know that sometimes cramming seems like the best answer, but I can assure you that it is not. First of all, after my year 1, what I started doing was I started really to understand. I started reading early, not early, but most of us would be mentally lecture start to study. That's what I did. I don't know. It works for different people. That's what I did. I started reading after a month in. So I had things to do and stuff. I was doing my business and stuff, so I had things to do. So I started reading 1 month in, and then I just went with that and kept reading at least, even if 3 pages a day. Read like that, I understand, get the information, and then even when there's a suppressed test or stuff like that, I had the knowledge of it already. Another way you can also get a tip or read is by like reading out loud. You're trying to explain to someone else what you've understood, so in that way you're able to like learn, get information. And if you can't, still ask someone else, because come to that for here. But these are the simple tips you can use. What I say, number 1, stop cramming, you guys. Sometimes cramming is the best, but try reading earlier, it works. Then read out loud, read earlier. Another way is like putting to practice, trying to go. I know some people be like, they read only the notes that they give them in class. That's a very bad thing. There's some lecturers, especially Medlab lecturers, they do that most of the time. They want you to give them what they gave you in class and also add your knowledge, add something you've googled. So most of the time, what I do personally, when I get a topic, before reading my notes, I first of all just go glimpse through it, maybe using AI and ChatGPT. I use it to like know like basics on that topic, and then know what I'm expecting, what they're supposed to teach me. And then after that, I get a knowledge of it. I try to write it down, like understand it my own, and then before I read my notes, so that it's not easier to like understand what the lecturer was trying to say. So it's easier that way. It helps you to like be grounded. And even if you don't remember most of the things you read on Google, you have the things you understood in your notes. And if you don't remember, you have the one in your Google, and you can even put them together. You can put them together and give them. You're having your pass mark and you're going. It's not all about cramming. Some people, most of my classmates, what they do is, when it's close to exam time, they just like read, usually debunk it there. It usually works. It works most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. It's just when you don't have to read, then you're not retaining what you've learned. You're not retaining what you already know. And that's what even spoils the laboratory. Because the people, they only want to pass theory. They don't want to know what is going on in the lab. They do not want to know. And it spoils the profession. It really does. So apart from you being in the lab cell, anything, you being in the cell or whatever, learn how to read to understand. Even if you don't understand everything, at least make sure that you understand something. So when they ask that question, you can explain it to the fullest. They will know that yes, this girl, she read it. This boy, he knows what he's doing. So I prefer that you do that. These are like my strategies, what I really do. Sometimes I just go to, there are some challenges that occurs to when you're reading. Sometimes you go to read and it's not entry. Relax, drink water, sip juice, just chill. It will come. There are moods like that. You don't have to force yourself to do stuff like that. Just chill, and then you go back to it again. Make sure you go back to it again. And what I've noticed that affects me is maybe when I read, and after that time I don't remember. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't remember. I have to go back to it again. And when I go back to it again, it's not like I'm reading from beginning. How I stopped that was I read and then I write down what I understand. It's not, there's some people that when like they read, I don't know if it's cramming, I don't even know how to put this, but they read everything in the notes. After reading, they now write exactly what they read inside their jotter. It's like you're copying another note inside your jotter. Don't try it. What you do is you read. After reading, what you understand, that's what you now write. And now if you want to go back to it, you know that this is what you understand. It will get back to you easily. But if you go back to your notes again, that's if you've not even seen that for your entire life. So you just pick up your journal, pick up your jotter, whatever you used to write, whatever you've understood. You get through it again, you read it again. That way it's easier to retain and it's shorter. If not, you copy another note to your jotter. And when you're going to read it, like everything that is in your note is what's in your jotter. Doesn't make sense. These are like practical advices. I've done it before. I know what works for me, so you have to check what works for you. I said use that you can read out loud. You can also teach someone else. It's like you just put your mirror in front of you and just talk, explain to yourself, and just feel yourself understanding what you've read. That way it will retain better. I recommend teaching someone else, maybe your sibling or a child, anybody. I mean, just teach someone. It sticks like that. And use abbreviations too. That really helped me my grade 3, I think, when we were learning physiology, I mean anatomy, stuff like that. Those bones and stuff like that. Oh, just too much. So I use most of abbreviations to like cut things down and stick to my head, and that way it's easier. Trust me, it's easier. There's no other way to even do these things. Just get your own, do what's best for you, but make sure you read. If you want to come out not first class, so my dear, we don't do that here. Want good grades, not first class. So class upper is better. At least maybe on for people that their stuff is 5 points, at least you aim to for 4.3 or even 4. Okay, 4.4, 4.3 or 4.2, all of them is class upper. Just aim for the higher class upper. And you're good to go, my dear. Even in this country that we are in, first class will not take anywhere. Okay? There's one company I applied for, and they asked me my CGPA. When I told them, they're like, yeah, that's better, because they felt like I had a business. Why I do? They felt like I had a business, and then that's why it was because I know I have a business. I'll focus all my time on education, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but you will not be able to socialize. You'll be able to have a life. So try to balance it so it should be like favorable for you. In this country, nobody's accepting first class if you don't have anything. You cannot put it to practice. Actually, in Medlab students, you cannot work in a lab. You cannot change something. You come in first class. So what now? What do you want to do with your first class? You need to put you in something. That is, if a good school where they're going to employ you. That's number one. They're going to employ you, and then you know what you're doing. These are the two things that is really necessary. These are the advices I can give to you. So if this really helps, let me know in my comment section. If you're going to try it, let me know. If you're struggling, let me know. I can be able to encourage you, because I've watched so many things like that. These 5 days is not going to practice anything. So to really help you, please, I can help you. So if you can provide me with a safe space, I'll really get to know you guys. So thank you very much. I will see you in my next video. Have a blessed day.